everyone, and welcome to episode 147 of the Giddy podcast. As always, I am Helen, and I'm coming to you from Dundee in Scotland. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to all my regular viewers, and hello to anyone that is new and checking out my podcast and my videos for the first time. I hope you enjoy it. This is my crafting podcast where I sit and chat about all the projects that I've been working on, whether that is knitting or crochet or cross stitch, or they're the main ones that get talked about, I think. But yeah, for anyone that is new and doesn't know who I am Helen, as I said. I am the dyer behind Giddy Yarns, which is an indie dyed yarn business based here in Scotland. And yeah, as I said, this is my crafty podcast. So, what have I got for you? It's been a normal kind of 2 weeks since I recorded the last podcast, so I'm feeling on track, which is quite good. But I've got, as always, we will start with an announcement section. I've got a couple of make-alongs to talk about. I want to talk about a little something else that I'm going to be adding to this channel. I have got a finished object to share with you. And then we'll move on to what's in the basket, which is my kind of works in progress, kind of the things I've been working on little section. I'm going to talk a little bit about a future project that I'm thinking of doing. And then I don't actually have any yarny goodness this week. So we will finish off with a little bit of shop news at the end. And yeah, I think that's about it. We are edging close to episode 150, which feels like a big milestone. So I figured when we get to episode 150, I might do a giveaway, which would be quite nice. I don't know what I'll give away, but shall we have a giveaway at episode 150? Why not? So stay tuned for what we're on now, episode 147. So 3 episodes time. In 3 episodes time, we will have a giveaway. Let's hope I keep on schedule with my every 2 week recording plan. Announcements. Let's do some announcements. So first of all, we have got our Halloween make-along running. It is my favourite make-along of the year. This is the 7th year, I think. I think I might have said 6th year last time, but I worked it out, and this is the 7th year that I have been running the Halloween make-along, and it is such a fun make-along. Everybody really gets into the spirit of it. So basically it runs from the 1st of September straight through until the 15th of November. And I know that's a little bit past Halloween, but that gives, you know, people like me who are never finished on time, a little bit of extra time to get your projects finished and still be able to get them in for the chance of winning prizes. Basically, any project that you're working on that can in some way be linked to Halloween, horror, supernatural, anything like that counts. Tenuous links are absolutely fine. If you can suggest a reason why something might relate to one of those things, it's fine. I quite enjoy the tenuous links. Yeah, works in progress count as long as they're not more than 50% completed before the 1st of September. And yeah, get your finished items into our various threads, which I will explain in a minute, by the 15th of November, and you could be in with a chance of winning a prize. You can enter, and this is the same as with all of our make-alongs, you can enter in my Discord group and in my Ravelry group, both of which are linked underneath the video. There will be specific threads in both groups for the make-along, and you can either, well, on Ravelry there's a chatter thread and a finished object thread. So go and share your progress, share what you're planning to make over there. I don't spend a lot of time in the Ravelry group. I keep it accessible because I know there's a lot of people who would rather enter make-alongs and things like that on Ravelry, but it is not somewhere that I tend to dip into and chat and things like that. If you want a more interactive make-along where I'm more likely to be kind of in and interacting and chatting and stuff like that, then the Discord thread is definitely the best place for that, because I am a lot more active on the Discord thread than I am in the Ravelry group. But your entries will still absolutely count if you add them into the Ravelry group, and there are a number of people in that group who will chat and who will respond to you and things like that. So yeah, that's it. As I said, there is links under the video as to where you can find those groups and how you can join those groups, and that's the Halloween make-along. I will share my projects a little bit later on. We also have still running, as always, our Giddy Yarns make along, which is basically any project that is using at least 50% of my yarn. You can enter to be in with a chance of winning a prize. I draw prizes for that quarterly. And then we also have our Bingo Crafting Challenge, which is our year-long make-along this year, where we created a bingo board nearer the beginning of the year, and the aim is to try and complete 9 things from our bingo board throughout the whole of the year. Now, obviously, if you're coming to this late, you are welcome to enter, but you have a lot less time to complete your bingo board. But there's details in the threads on, again, both on Ravelry and in Discord, of those kinds of things if you are interested. What else? I had more announcements. Let me have a sip of tea. It's probably going to be far too hot. It is far too hot. I had another announcement. I am going to be starting a new type of video on this channel. I did debate setting up a separate channel with it, but I think it's still pretty much on brand for kind of me and my business. But I want to start doing a little bit more in the way of book chat videos. I absolutely love following various people on BookTube, as it's known. We don't have a name for knitting, do we? There's no like KnitTube or CraftTube. It's not like a thing. Like we don't have like a colloquial, or maybe I just don't know what it is. Do we have a colloquial name for like YouTubers that are talking knitting and crafting? I don't know. But book people do. They have BookTube. So I follow a number of people. I really enjoy watching their videos on YouTube, and I get a lot of book recommendations from it. And as you'll know, if you've watched any of my vlogs or Vlogmas series or things like that, I like talking about books, and a number of you have responded positively and have enjoyed me talking about books. So I am going to have episodes probably once a month is what I'm thinking, which will be called, like, I don't know, I think it's going to be like, let's talk books. And that will be like a specific video where all I talk about is books. There won't be any crafting content or anything like that. I will put them in a separate playlist. So if it's not your kind of thing, you don't want to hear me chat books, then you can just not watch them. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But equally, if you do like me talking books, then come across and watch those ones. I am nervous about it. The idea of putting something a bit different on this channel worries me. I think only in the fact that I don't know. The podcast is going nowhere. The podcast is absolutely staying as it is. It's not going anywhere. The monthly vlogs are continuing. I have already started filming September's, but I just want to talk books as well. And I feel like because my brand for my yarn business is very much hand-dyed yarn inspired by literature and inspired by books and stuff like that, it still has a place on this channel. So yeah. We're gonna go with it, and I hope you enjoy it. Those of you that decide to come and watch, and yeah, we'll see. We'll hopefully it goes well. I don't know why I'm so nervous about it. I think it's just the thought of something new and something different, and my brain is telling me that there's going to be loads of people commenting, going, "We don't want this. We just want the knitting. Stick to the knitting. Don't talk books." Which I'm sure won't be true, because you are all lovely. And I very, very rarely get any negative comments at all on my videos. They obviously do happen because it's YouTube and it's the internet, and people on the internet can be unkind. But it is very rare for me. So yeah, I just need to have a thicker skin, don't I? Anyway, shall we talk crafting? I do have a finished object to share, because I finished Nedwood. So if you remember on the last episode, I was picking colours for Nedwood because for my Patreons, I was doing a Can I Knit a Gnome in a Week? And I did. And here he is. So Nedwood is one of the Grimblewood gnomes. He is one of... Oh, so the Grimblewood gnomes has now got so expansive. So he is part of the original part 1 of the Grimblewood gnome collection by Sarah Shearer, who is Imagined Landscapes. There is also a part 2, which is more fantasy themed. There's like a wizard, and you knit like, I can't remember, is there a castle? I feel like there's a castle as part of it. And they're all kind of like little characters. And then there is a new book coming out, which I have pre-ordered actually, which is a Grimblewood collection book with a series of different gnomes. And they're not the same gnomes as are in the Grimblewood collection already, from what I can gather anyway. But yeah, Nedwood, and I also have previously finished ones, Normanda and Neil, all spelt with G's, obviously. Are previous ones. So there are 4 gnomes in the first part of the Grimblewood collection, and I have completed 3 of them. So Neil and Normanda were completed previously, and Nedwood we have just finished. Nedwood is super fun. I really enjoyed the hat. You knit these little balls separately and sew them on. I love the kind of square hat. I love his feet. He has feet. His arms were quite fun to knit because they are one big long loop. Rather than having to knit 2 individual arms, which is always quite fun. And then he had a really nice simple beard, which I very much enjoyed. So that is Nedwood. There is one more gnome in this collection, and then there is also a cottage and a mushroom. And I really would like to actually knit the whole thing. So I think probably not right now, but at some point before the end of the year, I would like to knit the final gnome. And we'll see how that goes. I'll probably do it as another Can I Knit a Gnome in a Week vlog for my Patreon channel, because those vlogs are always quite fun. And yeah, again, I'm really happy with how I've kind of kept the colour palette, if that makes sense, throughout the whole of them with the greys and pinks. And I definitely think I'll do that with the 4th one. I think the colours worked really well with Nedwood. And yeah, I'm really, really pleased with him. So he is my little finished object for this week. So moving on then to what's in the basket. My tea's still too hot. I shouldn't have made it fresh before the podcast. I've got a few different things in the basket this week. I haven't actually worked on any of my previously existing projects in the basket. Oh no, before we move on to what's in the basket, I've even written it at the top of my show notes and I've still not done it. I wanted to let you know what I'm wearing, because I am wearing a knitted garment that I knit myself today. This is the Aquamarine pattern by Park Williams, and it has the best sleeves. It has absolutely amazing, awesome sleeves. It is, I don't know if I can can I come up a bit? Yes, I can. It is cropped, just kind of at my waist, and I love it. It is so cozy. It is like a bulky weight because I held DK together with 2 strands of fingering weight. So it makes kind of for quite a bulky kind of jumper, but it is super cozy and I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. I meant to do that at the beginning, but I'm rubbish at remembering new things. So what were we talking about? What's in the basket? Yes, I've not worked on any of my any of the projects that I've been talking about over the last few episodes. They haven't really been touched because I have cast on new things for the Halloween make-along, and I've also been working quite a bit on my cross stitch. So I thought I would share those. We will start with my Halloween socks, and I will share the project bag for this one because this is a gorgeous project bag from Jem at The Little Grey Girl. As you know, if you are regular, I have a lot of Jem's bags, but I love this. Halloween cupcakes. So perfect. So I did decide on a pattern. I have cast on the Just Add Magic socks by Kay Jones, who is part of the Bakery Bears. And as you know, if you watched last week's episode, I think, or did I not talk about, I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did. I think I did talk about last week's episode. I am using yarn from Suzanne at Green Lambkin Yarn in the Witchy Woo colourway. Witchy Woo. As I've said numerous times, Suzanne is the queen when it comes to Halloween yarns. And I have cast on the first sock. I haven't got particularly far with this yet, but I only cast it on the other day. My yarn is all tangled up and I can't get it. Right, through there. Right, there we go. So I have cast on, here we go. So this is going to be a crazy colourful sock. I've got quite a bit of pooling, as you can kind of see at the top here, but that's fine. I was kind of expecting it with this colourway, so it's fine. These are just going to be bright, fun socks. And you can see here, maybe, if the camera will focus, I have done the first bit of the pattern in there. I don't know how well the pattern's going to show up in this yarn. It is a very busy yarn, and the pattern for this one, I'll pop a picture up quickly so you can see what the official socks look like. As you can see, it is one of those socks that has like a little panel, which is my favourite type of sock to knit, but it's a little panel with a lace detail down it. And yeah, I don't know quite how well it's going to show up in this because it is a busy coloured yarn, but I don't care, it's fine. I will be happy with whatever. It is a relatively simple, it's only something like an 8-row repeat or something, so I always quite like that because I feel like that's something I can get done. Like, you know when like you're sitting and you're knitting and then you realise it's nearly bedtime and suddenly you're on like a massive repeat and you don't really want to finish until the end of the repeat, but that's going to take you too long. I find I like a shorter repeat because that doesn't happen, because like I'll look and it'll be like, oh god, I really need to go to bed. I'm only on row 3. It's fine because I only actually have to knit 5 more rows of a sock, and that's not too much. So yeah, I like a short repeat. A short repeat is good. So yeah, they are growing. They are going to be hopefully by the end of the Halloween make-along, I will have a pair of socks. That is my plan. I am really hoping to kind of focus on my Halloween knitting during the make-along and actually have finished objects for the end of the make-along. So yeah, we will see how that goes, but I'm hopeful. So hopefully next time you see these, you will be able to see the pattern a bit better and they will look more than just like the tiniest bit of a sock started. But how gorgeous is this yarn caked up? It is so, so pretty. I don't know if you can see, I can't tell from my little screen on the camera how well the sparkle is coming across, but they are super sparkly as well. So that is my Halloween socks. And then I also cast on a Halloween jumper. As you'll know, I was talking about what project I was going to pick and what pattern on the last episode. Oh, I've forgotten to put the label back in the bag. And in the end, I did settle on doing the Tolster tee. As much as I love the look of the twist cardigan, I think just knowing how busy life is going to be for the next month or so work-wise, I just needed something that was going to be a little bit less needing thought. But I love that pattern and I definitely want to do some more in the future. I'm hoping to knit more garments over the next year or so. So hopefully that will be on the cards at some point. So I did decide to go for the Tolster tee. I'm going to share this bag as well because this is so fun. A lovely viewer, Nikki, made a load of bags along this kind of theme for the Halloween make-along last year as prizes, and she also sent one for me to keep as well, and this is the one I kept. It's a perfect size for this and it's super fun. And in here I have all the yarn that I'm using for my Tolster tee. The Tolster tee, in case you haven't heard of it, which would be surprising because it has been everywhere, is a pattern by Rebecca Clow, who is the Creya Bear. She has the Creya Bear podcast on YouTube as well. She has a whole host of amazing garment patterns that are all very well written. This is my first time using one of her patterns, and so far, like, I've had no issues at all. It's really, really, really well written. So I am using the Wednesday minis from Beehive Yarns that you will have seen on the last episode. I can't really show you them all now because they're all caked up and in this bag. And I'm pairing it with my colourway Pebble as well. And this is how we're getting on. So, see if I can find the front. So yeah, this is the front here, but I will show you the back just because there's more fabric to work with because there is some short row shaping at the back. But look, so this is what I decided to go with. I'm doing 4 rows of each colour and then 6 rows of the Pebble in between. And I'm just going to stripe the whole jumper like that, going down through the fade. It's quite a subtle fade between these two colours, so you can't really, you can just about tell that this one is slightly lighter. But it will become more obvious as I add more colours. I am just starting to add this third colour, which as you can see is a bit more blue, so this one will definitely be more noticeable. And then the fourth colour, I'm hoping to find it and get it out for you, but goodness knows if I can. That's number 5. That's number 4, yes. So again, the fourth colour is then lighter again, so it will get more noticeable. I'm going to have quite a lot left. Like, I wasn't actually sure how far a 20 gram mini would go in a garment. And obviously I'm still only on like the neck and the yoke increases, so I'm using much less than I will be once I get to the body. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have quite a lot left over. This is how much I've got left over still of number 2, and that won't need to go into the sleeves. So I might repeat it further down the body. I don't really know. I am not massively confident when it comes to knitting garments. I'm not one of those people who can just kind of make things up as they go along. I don't have that kind of confidence level, so I haven't quite worked it all out. My plan is to just keep going until I've used all 13 colours. Then we'll kind of see what we're doing lengthwise and make decisions then about whether we just repeat the whole thing, whether we go back out from the purple, quite what we do. I'm definitely going to have enough yarn in terms of the minis. I'm pretty confident of that, seeing kind of how much I've used so far. But yeah, I don't know. We will discover as we go together. as we go together, and as I hopefully get a little bit more confident in what I'm doing, and yeah, we will see how it goes. But I'm really, really pleased with it so far. I'm really enjoying how the stripes are coming out, and it's really, really easy. It's really kind of relaxing to knit. Even though I'm on the increases for the yoke at the moment, so the raglan increases, I'm not finding that too stressful, and I'm really enjoying it. So I think the stripes are really good as well, because they kind of keep me motivated to just get to the next colour, which is really nice. So yeah, one jumper in progress. And as I said, hopefully it'll be a jumper finished by the end of the make-along. That would be amazing. I feel like the sleeves won't be too stressful with, or won't be too like slow with the stripes. Again, when I knit my So Faded sweater that I did the stripes with the pixie yarns, I found the sleeves I didn't get like sleeve island issues with that because of the stripes, because I was just knitting 10 rows of every stripe, so it was quite nice and quick. Right, the other thing I have been doing a fair amount of work on is my cross stitch. So I am obsessed, in case you haven't realised so far, I am obsessed with the cross stitch kits from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, particularly their mystery knit along ones. I have quite a lot of their mystery knit along ones, and I have only completed one of them. I did the British Isles stitch along, which I finished off earlier this year, I believe, I'm not sure. And then I also started the Christmas stitch along from last year. I am not keeping up. Like, I have definitely never kept up with the actual stitch along. I just like the patterns, and yeah, I'll knit them. I'll cross stitch them in my own time. But I have done a fair bit on this one. I will pop a picture up here quickly, because I did take a picture of this the last time I showed you, so you can see where I was then. And this is where I am now. So I have been adding more buildings, and it's so cute. It is so, so cute. This building was a pain, an absolute pain, because I did all the white for it, only to realise that I'd done it all in the wrong place and had to unstitch it all. So that was like a whole evening's work that I then just had to unpick it all, and that was really frustrating. So I have done most of that building twice. But we are back on track, and I am working on this little building down the bottom here. But I've really enjoyed picking up my cross stitch. And yeah, I've got a fair few of the stitch along kits now. I think I've got a Positivity one, which is like a hot air balloon. I've got the fantasy one that they did that was happening earlier this year, I think. And I've also got the Halloween one that is running at the moment. And all of those I would like to make. So I need to get this one finished so that I can start another one. But yeah, they are super fun, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. What I'm going to do while we are on camera now, I am going to take my phone and we are going to take that picture. There we go. So we now have a photograph to show progress for the next time that I show you the cross stitch. But yeah, it's been a nice little change. Nice change of pace in my crafting, picking my cross stitch up again. But I am quite slow, and progress does not happen fast. Right, that is it, I'm afraid. That is everything that I have been working on over the last couple of weeks, really. They have very much been kind of my priority projects. I think I put a few stitches into, I think I crocheted like 3 squares for the Secret Treasure Box minis, and I think I maybe added a few stitches to one of the other socks that I've got going, but it wasn't enough to really show you much in the way of progress. And I think I've done like one more repeat on my shawl that I was working on as well. But I will get them out and show you them again when they've had more than like 6 rows progress on them. But one thing I did want to talk to you about was a future project. I am debating, and I always do this every year, but I feel like this is a good way of doing it, maybe. I am debating starting swatching of my Advent, because it's always quite nice to be able to do the odd little reveal throughout the month to kind of share the Advent as you know, as December passes. I'm not a fan of the daily reveals. That is, well, not only is that too much work for me, but I feel like it drives me mad when I'm on Instagram and all I'm seeing throughout December is daily reveals from all the dyers of their Advent colorways. It's like, I don't know, it drives me mad. Anyway, I would much rather do like 4 reveals throughout the month, and not kind of clog up my entire Instagram feed with Advent reveals. But that's just me. Some people love them, and that is fine. However you feel about it, that's fine. That is just me and how I feel. But what I would like to do is get some swatches done so that I could do some Advent reveals throughout the month of December as people are opening the Advents. And I'm debating 2 possibilities. First off, I was debating whether I do some crochet blocks, which will then obviously eventually I could put together into a blanket. So I've got this book, which was really, really kindly gifted to me a number of years ago by a lovely viewer of the podcast, which has 200 crochet blocks by Jan Eaton. And as you can see, I have gone through with my little tabs and I have marked a few that I was looking at. So I will show you a few of them. So I liked the look of this Arcadia block. Obviously I would be doing them all in single colours. So they would look slightly different, but yeah, I quite like the idea of the snowflake block as well, although I think that maybe doesn't use quite enough of the yarn, but it felt fitting being a Advent project maybe. The other one I really liked was this one, the Queen Anne's lace. That could be really, really pretty. I want to do something a little bit different to what I would normally do in the way of a crochet block. This one I really like, but I wonder if it's a little bit too similar to kind of just a granny square block. Oh, I don't know, now I'm seeing it on the camera, I'm liking it even more. The old Vienna one, that's really pretty. And then there's just 2 more. That one's not opened on the page I want it to. See, now I'm looking at this, I'm actually thinking no. This was one that I was wondering about, but now I'm looking at it again, I'm actually thinking I like the other ones better. And then the final one was, which I think was one of my favourites. Oh, come on, I put the tab in and now I can't find the tab. Oh yeah, I do quite like this one. Which was one of my favourites, is this one, which is a willow block as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering whether I could start doing those, because I am nearly halfway through skeins the Advents, which is incredible. Like, it's the beginning of September and I think I'm nearly halfway through skeins the Advents. So I could dig out a mini of each, probably a 10 gram mini to be fair. I could just dig out a 10 gram mini of each and just get them caked up and start making some squares. And then I've got some for reveals. The other thing I was wondering about, which I need to go and get actually. So the other thing I was wondering about is doing something similar to what I did with this Advent a number of years ago. It's all a bit tangled up. We've had this at home, and that is a garland of stars. This one is actually with yarn from Bryony Spectrum Fibres. I made a dust of snow wrap with this advent calendar, but all of the leftovers, I kept all the leftovers, and I think I made 2 stars out of each colour from the leftovers, and then I just joined them into a garland. And it has lived for years on the wall of our house until we got cats who could reach the high places and who liked dangly things and who definitely got to this star. So it got taken down, well, it kind of fell down. And then I brought it to the studio thinking it could do with a wash really, because it's been hanging on the wall for years. So yeah, it needs a wash, and then I might also try and I don't know. I don't know. What I could do actually is just remove the chain. It didn't take too long to do the chain. I could do a fresh chain and I could remove that one. But anyway, that's not what we're supposed to be talking about. My other thought for my advent calendar was that I could do stars. I think I'd make them another round bigger. So these ones, now I've put it away, I'm going to bring it back. These ones were, I think, just 2 round. Yeah, 2 round stars. I think I would maybe do 3 rounds, make them slightly bigger. And then I could use them to decorate the studio. They would look like the wall opposite where I'm sitting right now is really, really bare. It's really bare. It's really boring. I am hoping at some point to open up the studio to do some like, probably every couple of months, probably not that often, but to have like an open day where people can come and sit and craft and chat, and we can drink tea and you can look at yarn and stuff like that. So I do need to kind of decorate it a little bit better. You get my nice corner. The rest of it is very much a workroom. So yeah, I don't know. Crochet blocks or crochet stars. What do you think? I also feel if I'm doing a advent reveal, so the plan would be to do a photograph with the mini skeins in and all of the little crochet swatches of whatever kind in. I feel like stars would look lovely. I feel like stars would look really, really nice along with the mini skeins. So yeah, that's one of the things that is tempting me to go with stars. But equally, I really want to do some of these blocks. But then I'm always starting crochet blankets, so maybe I will use one of these blocks in a new crochet blanket. I am actually, I still need an advent project because I always need an advent project for one of the existing advents that I have at home that I have purchased from other people. And my brain's gone. What was I saying? And yeah, with the advents from Erin at Henny Penny Makes, I always do a blanket. So maybe I will do that. Maybe I will pick one of the squares from this book and use it for an advent blanket with Erin's yarn. I could try with this year, because we always swap advent calendars, me and Erin. We swap every year. We have done for a number of years. In fact, this blanket here is one of the blankets that I have made with her advent calendar before. I have another finished blanket at home. I've got a blanket on the go. I've got one untouched advent calendar, and I must have another blanket as well that was made with it as well. I don't know. Anyway, maybe that's that. Maybe that would be what that is. Maybe Erin's advent calendar this year will use one of those blocks, and I'll do stars. I think stars would work really nicely in advent reveals, and I do really want another garland to decorate this studio. So there we go. I think I've made my decision. Right. So what else have I got left to talk about? Shop news. I'm going to finish off with a little bit of shop news. Halloween pre-orders you already know about because I did talk about them on the last episode, but they are available now. So we have got the Halloween treat box, which is this one here. With the treat box, you have got a choice of a sock set or 100-gram skein, up to you, across all of my bases. Also 70-gram sock sets. And the yarn will be inspired roughly by this picture. Yeah, that's that one. And you can choose whether you want the treats included or whether you don't want treats, if you just want it to be yarn only. Treats will be some kind of hot drink, probably a hot chocolate. Some kind of sweet treat. Haven't worked it out yet. It's my job next week, once I've got the numbers. So this is the thing, like I've got rough ideas of what I want to include, but until I've got the numbers, I don't know for certain, because it depends on like the box sizes when I buy them from the wholesaler and stuff like that. So that's when the decisions need to be made. So yeah, there'll be some kind of hot drink, some kind of sweet treat. I am going to have some bookmarks made. I am going to include some kind of notion, and then there will also be some other little extra as well. I've got some ideas, but again, it all depends on the numbers, because it will depend what I can order, depending on the number of people that I need to be ordering for. So that is the Halloween treat box. And then I'll go this way. And then we also have the Halloween countdown, the Haunted Library Halloween countdown. This one is yarn only, so you will get 13 mini skeins, which, as you can see on the image, they will be a fade based on like this kind of bit at the bottom here. I hope I'm gesturing in the right place. I have no idea. And yeah, they will be a fade based on that. You can get 10-gram or 20-gram minis across most of my mini bases, I think. I am keeping a sparkle set of this for me, because I am very much enjoying this jumper, and I am very much thinking I could make another one using a background and then sparkle minis with it, because that would be really fun. Just the minis be sparkle and the rest be plain. Anyway, so they are both open for pre-order. The pre-orders will close Sunday, well, first thing Monday morning, so Monday the 9th, first thing Monday the 9th is when the pre-orders will close. Clubs are also up at the moment, so for September we are into the pale blues from the turquoises for the mini club, and we are inspired by the luggage for the Discworld club. All the details about those are on the listings, and again, the pre-order is open until the same time. First thing Monday morning, so the first thing on the 9th of September. And this is the end, this is the final month of this quarter, so beginning of October will be the start of the final quarter for the clubs. And then the last thing I wanted to mention before I go, after another sip of tea, is Roald Dahl Day. Roald Dahl Day is on the 13th of September, and last year I started doing a little Roald Dahl collection for Roald Dahl Day, as I do with Winnie the Pooh Day in January every year. So last year I released a collection inspired by Matilda, and this year we are going for Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it is going to be a very autumnal collection. I have dyed up the test runs of all of the colours, and I am excited to share them with you. It is going to be a bit of a mix, so it's going to be a bit of a mix of ready to ship. So I will have yarn available ready to ship, I will have minis available ready to ship, but not across all of my bases. So I will be doing the listings as ready to ship, but then I will also add some dye to order listings. So if there is anything that you want on a different base or something like that, then it will be available dye to order. It will probably have a slightly longer turnaround than my normal dye to order, just because October is going to be busy, because, well, September and October is busy with advents, and I'm also vending at Glasgow School of Yarn in October as well. So yeah, busy month. So it will have a slightly longer turnaround for the dye to order on those ones. But yeah, that's it. I also can't share the colours with you, which is very annoying, but it's been a little bit of a quick kind of, everything was busy in August, so I've only just got them dyed up. They are still sitting in the oven, actually. I left them there last night to cool down, and I've not got them out yet. I need to do that after I've recorded this video so that I can get them on the air as to dry. So yeah, I won't get a chance to share them on the podcast before everything goes live. But I am hoping to get a newsletter out, and I will definitely be doing reveals over on Instagram as well. So make sure you are following me in those places. You can sign up to my newsletter underneath the video. I am not the best at getting newsletters out about everything. I still haven't sent a newsletter out about the Halloween stuff, and I really should do. Maybe I'll try and get that done today. Yeah, Instagram, again, links to my Instagram and everything are underneath the video. Instagram is very much the place where things will be most up to date. I think, yes, because I am kind of organised. Anyway, that is everything, I think, for this episode. So thank you, as always, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have got to the end of this episode, then leave me an emoji that actually exists this time. Shall we go with? There were no gnomes. There were no gnome emojis. How is there that is just not right. Anyway, leave me a star emoji of some kind for the star garland that I am going to make with my Advent yarns. And I will see you hopefully again in a couple of weeks with the next podcast episode. Those of you that do fancy a little bit of book chat, come and join me with the book chat video that will be going up again probably a few days after this one's gone up. I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, September's vlog is in progress, and that will be available at the end of the month. Well, maybe the beginning of October. So I will see you all again very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.